Okay. Stuff around here, and then I'll get going. Okay. Stuff in my pockets. I'll be right back, actually, and then I'll get going. Okay. I am doing two things tonight. Following back up on Ethernet, we're going to try out this standardized sockets PR. Biffo got back to us. Also, I saw David mentioned about posting on there when I'm going to stream covering a PR, which we could maybe do sometimes. I don't know that I necessarily would do that like all the time, but in some situations that might be kind of nice. Put it on there ahead of time, if possible. I muted this thing again. Okay. The other thing that I have finally gotten going, which I tried at one point and found out it didn't work for me because I had a very ancient version of Node.js. For whatever reason, the one that's in apt seems to be very, very old. I don't know exactly how much in time the Node.js development is. Like, it's like 12 is in apt, but they haven't. It was 18 on their website, so it's like 6 versions. I don't know how much real time that represents, but for whatever reason, the one in apt is really, really old, so it was not letting me use the Discotool device manager, which, let me get my browsers and stuff. I had a reboot actually right before I started here, because my computer kind of went crazy on me. Discotool. So I tried this at one point, it didn't work, and I think it was just because I had old Node.js that I got from apt that was very old, but I can now use this. I did actually already install it. At some point I'll uninstall it and do it again, that way we can have a video of it. I might make a video that just shows like some of the features of it, just so there's like something out there talking about this. I think it's a pretty neat tool for sure. So I'd be happy to kind of like show people what it is and point people towards it. So I will try to start working it into my sort of workflow, just to get some hands-on experience with it. I got it installed, I got it running, and I looked around for a little bit, and I will get it loaded up again. I think, let's see, what do we want to do, I guess? Do I want to, so I ran it from PyCharm last time, I guess. I'm just going to go terminal here. Let's go and DJ Devon. The reason I post is to embed it in the Discord. If I switch to the tablet. Oh, nice. Without having to flip-flop back and forth between. Oh, yeah, because you can click the button. Nice. So this thing is actually pretty cool. It's like device manager, I guess. The name of it is kind of the best way to describe it. But it's like a one-stop shop for looking at the stuff on your device, installing libraries on your device with a GUI that's pretty nice. It's like if Circup had a GUI with a search bar, which is pretty sweet. Backups, which I think is pretty cool. I probably have not even found everything that's in there yet. Those are the couple of things I saw so far, which definitely seem pretty sweet. So I don't use Node stuff very often, so I do have to kind of like follow along here. I think this is what I did. Yeah, okay. So what we did, and then you run that, and it pops open this window, which is basically like, I think this is like a little browser window, if I understand right. I don't know exactly how it launched everything into here, but my understanding is it's like hosting a server, and then it loaded this page, and the server is hosting the page, and the page can communicate back and forth with the server, and in this case, the server can also communicate with the other hardware connected to the computer, in our case, the CircuitPy drive. So when you first load it up, you get to this kind of like list of all your devices page. It tells you how many devices are there. If I turn on another one, like, the right button? I don't think that's the right button. Did I just turn off? Nothing. Okay, that's good. If I plug in another one and do reload here, then it will find 2 boards. It tells you which one, or I mean, it tells you the name of each one that it found. I am going to unplug that just because we're not actually going to use the second one right now. It tells you which one's which, and you can click to go into them. I'll do reload again. It will bring us back down to 1. So this is like list of all your boards. These ones are connected USB. I assume that's the icon there is telling us that. And also I didn't set up any kind of web workflow stuff. You have web workflow on. I think if you have it on by default, it may find it if it answers to the CircuitPython.local, whatever, something inside of here I think said something about that. Mine, my network, I don't think it's ever worked like that for me, that I can just go CircuitPython.local. I have to find the IP and then I can go to the IP. But it looks like you could put this in here as well, the IP address, and then you could connect that way also. So like if you don't have a USB connection, you could have a web workflow connection. And my understanding is you'll get all the same stuff, which also is pretty sweet because it would be a nice like GUI manager tool to go along with the web workflow. So I go into the device. That gets us to, I guess, what I'm going to call the device page, which tells us what device we have. And then it gives us these 4 tabs where we have a welcome page, which is pretty basic. It tells you some information about your device, tells you the path where you can find it. I didn't click this before, but I assume, yep, it will open up File Manager, which is a nice touch. This will open up the CircuitPython.org to your device, so that's pretty nice. And I don't know exactly, I guess it's probably looking in boot out or something. I'm not sure how it found it or mapped it up, but it does point to the right device. So that's kind of cool to be able to get back to this page, which is where you could download the latest version, right? So this kind of like allows the device to point you back towards where the latest version is at, which I think is a nice touch. I wonder if we could put that inside boot out. I wonder if boot out could have a link back to the, is that worth it? I don't know if that's worth it all the way. It seems like it'd be nice though, because like then you could go right back there. You always would get the one for that device. Be able to download it right there. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So that one stays open in the background there. This one is our device. We can look at files as well. So obviously, like, you can use whatever file browser you want, but this one does present one for you as well. Rename, delete. Oh, right. This one's pretty cool. This allows you to look at the dependencies for the file. So like take a random file like Ethernet simple server, click this thing, and it's going to show you the dependencies for the code that's inside that file that we checked there. So it's like reading that code and then figuring out all the libraries that are required. It lists them all out here, which is honestly, this interface here, this reminds me a lot of this one inside of PyCharm, which I will stall a little bit here while I find, this one. Kind of like a combination of this one and this one, truthfully, is what this page reminds me of here. This is showing you those dependencies. It will list them all out. It will tell you the versions of what's current versus what you have, if it's a big update or a little update or whatever. And then you can click update on each one, like you can do install there and it will install the new one, or you can do update, it looks like, to download the latest version. I don't necessarily want to do that for this one right now, but those are both nice options. I'm sure with a nice, easy, like, update all, I could imagine myself having libraries that are more frequently up to date. At this point, I probably have libraries that are fairly up to date. I kind of just update it whenever I'm testing something new, but I could see like people just install it once and leave it sit. If there's a one-button solution to update everything, I think that will help with getting people to actually be updating all the time so they can be having the versions with all the fixes and stuff like that going on. Product URL, CircuitPython.org, device URL, and main learn guide. Oh, that's a nice touch as well. Yeah, learn guide would be cool. It may help, would be legitimately helpful. I don't know exactly how it I don't know how it populates boot out. Be interesting though, if we could have a data store of all that stuff and if it could put it in there. The other thing, so this is like telling us the dependencies for the specific file that we looked at. You can also go here, which is kind of, this also reminds me of that menu inside PyCharm where we can install stuff with pip. This is allowing us to install CircuitPython libraries. It gets a whole list here. You can filter them down by this. So like if you know you're looking for BMP or whatever, you can type that in. It's going to find you that one. You can find, if you want to install both of them, you can check them there. You can go, boom, install these dependencies. That brings you now to this page where it has listed out all those dependencies. In this case, 2 of them are missing, 2 of them are update available. I'll just go the 2 that are missing, but you could do install all, and then it would do everything. I don't know if install, I assume that's going to update if I click install. So this is like GUI management of libraries, which I think is pretty sweet. The other thing that I'll show real quick before I jump into the actual testing I want to do is download a backup of the board, which I think is a really nice feature. The easier we can make this, the better for sure, because like occasionally something goes wrong on your board where you, in order to get back from it, you need to run erase file system, and that, as the name suggests, erases your file system, which includes all your files, which is kind of a bummer. If you could be taking backups of that all the time very easily, then you're more likely to not lose something important in that scenario, which is good. I don't know what's going on here. It's not letting me click save this time. I did download this earlier, actually, and this was already working. Discotool manager is ready. Maybe it's, I guess I didn't choose a place. That's probably why. Yeah, okay, I didn't choose a place. Okay, so I choose a place and then we can go save. It will package together basically a folder of all the stuff on the board and save it with a timestamp. So like over inside here now, there's a timestamp file that's a backup of the board. If I go inside here, it's just everything that's in CircuitPy, which is cool. So like you could run this real quick right before you're about to update, or right before you're, you run off a battery frequently and you might have brownouts and stuff like that. Like this is nice to be able to take backups easily. OS.name. I'm trying to pull info for SD card. OS.uname from Python. There is something like that. There's a way that you can pull, it might be inside machine instead of OS. The PyBadge library does something like that. I'll be looking into that soon because I want to make a game controls unification layer, basically, or something like this. Okay, so this is pretty sweet. Hug report to NeroDoc. Sorry it took me forever to actually get my Node.js updated, but I'm glad I did. This does definitely seem like a sweet tool. I will try to work it into my kind of workflow here. Starting with right now, we're trying to test this PR from WizNet. We need to update to the latest one because there was a couple of changes after the last time we looked at it. I'll reply to this stuff too, actually. Have a look at this. Oh, so we did see this the other day. Yeah, I did see this one. Basically, this is just talking about how that one, what's the actual function send to? That one function send to, in the CPython one, there's just 2 functions basically with the same name, but differing argument signatures. One has 2 arguments, one has 3 arguments. CircuitPython doesn't support that, so it can't match exact. And I do think that, I mean, this is probably the best. This is probably the best that we could do as far as typing it. I mean, yes, is it a generic type? It sure is, but like, it's the only thing we can say about it that that fits what it actually is, I think, because I don't think we can type like, I don't think we can type that concept of like, it could be one argument with this name, or it could be a different argument with the other name, or it could be both. I don't think it's really possible to type that. Or if it is, I'll say I definitely don't know how. And I do think just going like this kind of gets the point across, because we did see that in the C Python docs. I remember that in the documentation, and so this does make sense compared to what was there, and I think this is probably the best we can get. Definitely the best that I would know about. And there's not a, I mean, I guess I can quote reply. Isn't there usually like a reply on the comment, or? I guess not, I don't know. I'll get rid of the copy of the code stuff. You know, maybe it's better actually to just get rid of the 3 one. Well, I mean, the 3 one, the thing that's added is flags. And the flags are not actually implemented. So should we just have the 2 argument one? So the functional difference basically becomes, if we only have the 2 argument one, any code that's trying to use the 3 argument one will straight up just fail because the function won't exist. Which is not ideal, but if we do it this way, technically it's using star, so as long as you use names for your arguments, well, no, you don't even have to use names, do you? You just have to pass them in the right order. It'll be address if it's only 1, and then it'll be flags and addresses if it's 2. But it can't just be flags by itself. It has to be, it's like, it's always addresses, but it can have flags or not. And the flags aren't implemented. So if we allow the 3rd one, something will not crash when it calls it, but if the code that's calling it is expecting the flags to do anything, then it will be disappointed because it won't actually do anything. Maybe that's better. I mean, the whole point of the standardized socket, I guess, is to make it so that there's more portable code. Having the code not crash is probably best. It's too bad the CPython 1 doesn't just use keyword arguments. If it would just use keyword arguments for both of them, am I missing something? Or like it can function the exact same? And it would be able to work for us as well, although I guess why should they change it so that it works for CircuitPython? But I wonder why they ended up with two functions anyway, though. It is weird, right? Isn't it? I mean, keyword arguments is feels like the more Pythonic solution. Yeah, maybe that's not actually true, though. How does the logic work in here? I am right about it. It's always it's always going to be the address, right? So other args is a list of everything that was passed. If the length of other args is either 1 or 2, then other args address equals the last one in the list. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's in 2. Okay. Yeah. If there's 2 things, then address is the second one. If there's only 1 thing, then address is obviously the only one. Then I guess if you have a single element array, this will give you the single element. And then flags just gets ignored because we don't use it. Okay. Yeah. That's probably, I certainly, like I said, I certainly don't know of a better way that it could be typed. Unexpected parameter, yeah, and this will be yellow because it's like, doesn't know about it because of that, but how it goes, I think. I guess address is required, but then flags could be the keyword argument. So it could be data, address, flags equals none as a keyword argument. And then there's only one function. If you pass it 2 values, it's data and address. If you pass it, I think if you even pass it 3 values without the name, it might work. I don't know for sure about that, though. You might need to use the name. I don't know. This doesn't matter, I guess. There's no point in musing about this here. So they did change, I think, debugging thing back to true, changed sock type to type. And then they said bind into bind and bind. Called without error checking. Let's see if the socket is bound. Had some commented out code that's gone now, and it says now we have, well, it starts the same actually, I guess. Okay, this is actually the same 2 lines as this. It's called underscore bind now. Then bind address. Returns non-helper function to allow bind to check for an existing connection, or accept to generate a new socket connection. Okay. I can't say as though I necessarily understand the crux of that one, like the reason. Socket to the address. The socket must not already be bound. Say something about that. To allow accept to call bind on an already bound socket. The bind on an already bound. So I think, though, this is part of our difference between CPython and CircuitPython, though, right? Was that we have a limited number of sockets. So us being able to reuse it is like not going to match their API, but going to make sense for us because we have a limited number. Better to reuse it if we can. I guess that makes sense. I don't quite follow, so basically it just... it's inside of accept, or inside accept it calls underscore bind now. Okay. So if I understand right, basically it's that underscore bind, you can do it on a socket that's already bound, and regular bind you cannot. Which is how CPython is. The socket must not already be bound. You cannot call bind on one that's already bound. But in our case, we want to be able to because we want to reuse it. And so we create our own bind with a different name. Okay. I do kind of follow. I'll be back in a minute. Don't do it, buddy. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't know. Didn't get mentioned anywhere, so I guess they must have thought about it as another difference. The F optional sock type. So let's double check that real quick. Make sure we don't have any more sock types. Sock. Nice. Have a bunch of types though, probably, I suppose. Interesting. Type it was, well, it's an argument, I guess. It's, I don't know. One. I guess it's probably hidden. One of these is folded. Remember what file it was in. Two. There we go. Type. Should go type colon. Let's back to the one we saw first. Hit this. And I will install it this way because we're not trying to install the real library. We're trying to install this new modified one from the PR. Okay. Prevent cat fights before they happen. We need. We have server test, I guess. I want to go back to client test first. Well, simple test more generally. It's HTTP client. CK in use because of board spy. I don't want to muddy up the waters with this PR, but we should make a thing that goes through the whole bundle and finds those bus.io spy initializations and changes them to this. across all the library examples. Okay, we got that, which, let's see, on this device, that was because this is back to the TFT feather, so we were stuck on that on the RP2040 feather. On this device, that was like, after you get to this state, you can fix it with a reset. So let's hope that that's still the situation we're in. And that's with the currently released one. Uh-oh. So yeah, we got that straight off the bat. Goodness gracious. Fighting, please. Was I doing a full reset with power today when we were fixing that? Now I don't remember for sure, but crossed, hopefully. Okay, so we got farther. We got success for the first part. We made it through. We got success for everything. We'll just do Control-C, Control-D. Get success again, and so like I can get success a few times. If I recall right, the way that hey. If I recall right, the way that we get to the broken state is by saving a file. After done. So like if I save this, then yeah, we're just stuck now. I think we don't succeed again until we do, I guess, a hard reset. That's what I just did a minute ago, was essentially pull the USB plug and put it back. In my case, my hub has buttons, so I actually just use the buttons on the hub. I'm going to do reset button on the board again, just to try to confirm this is the state we're in. And last time this did not resolve it. We came back and we were still in the same situation. Yep. I wonder if there's something about when we save a file that is wrecking the socket. I don't know which thing it would be, but something internally, some resource that it's trying to then use later. So we'll do the hard reset by unplug, replug. And that's back to working. Okay. And this is the same behavior I got out of the currently released one with my device, with my network, with the way all of my stuff is set up. This is now back to the same behavior we were getting. It's good. I do want to, one thing is I want to go even like double check that we are using. Okay. Yeah, definitely using the modified one of these because it's got the underscore bind, which I think is not even exist in the current one. So like absolutely certain we're actually testing the new one. It'd be tragic if we go through all of this and then it turns out it's actually the wrong one installed. Bind. Yeah, this one has no underscore bind, just has bind and it has all this stuff inside of it. Okay. Yeah, we definitely have the new one. Simple test is good. Manual network. I know that works for me. I don't think I can think I could just do static IPs. Really sure. I don't really mess with that stuff, my network, too much. I mean, ideally, I try not to mess with my network at all. Once it's working, I don't want to mess with it beyond that. We can test this, Wizzy WSGI server. Should be using socket, I assume. Oh, yeah, this is an example. Okay. So I'll save this. I assume we're into a broken state after that. Okay, it won't work because of the board spy. But I assume we're still in a broken state after that. DHCP won't work. Not. So I was going to say sometimes it felt like we got one more success before we started getting the failures. It didn't happen just now when we tried it, but I think I recalled that from before. I think I need to do HTTP. Get default state HTTPS if you don't put it. Oh. Root WSGI handler? It got inside there. I don't know if... Oh. Yeah, okay. Took it a second, but turn that to us, which is technically an HTML document, text document, large, code, see, LED, kind of fun. I don't have the camera on, so I can't show the results, but red, green, blue. So let's go 0, 5, 0. And the pixel to green. Your WSGI handler though. Did you set? Yeah, turn to green. Large. Bunch of text. There it is. It's a neat pattern. Bitcoin code. Ooh. PTC. What was it the other day when we looked? 17 or 19 or something? 2 bit ago? Oh, failed to allocate socket. So I would assume we get to failed, yeah. Then I assume we're stuck here until we do a hard reset. I think like sometimes you get one successful run after you save code, but other times it seems like you don't. So I don't know what's up with that. But I'll do the hard reset. I wonder if that's just because I loaded several pages in a row. Will it just always fail if you load some number of pages in a row, or BTC again? What is this? This use requests in the microcontroller to fetch the price and then return it back to the browser on the PC. Okay. Does seem like those are all working. Simple, we did WYSIWYG. I can't do manual. Do simple server. Your lights, I don't have a thing for, so I can't really test. We can test this one. I'll have to set up a feed and stuff again, I think. I tend to just delete my feeds right at so I can make a new one. I don't know if I'll have one set up. I may need to redo one, but we can test that as well. So let's do simple server first. We'll copy this. We're editing code, so we're going to go to our broken state. If not this time, then next time, but truthfully, I think I'm just going to do the hard reset now, but we do need to fix this again. You'd think I would remember this. Nope. Just gotta watch it crash the first time. Server. So it's weird that the IP is different, right? Isn't that weird? I think that's weird, isn't it? It's weird to me. Why is the IP different? Is this specified? It's Mac? Okay, I think I probably get it. I probably know what happened is that sometime in the past we ran this example, which has a MAC address in it. When we ran the example, my network assigned this IP to this MAC address, and now that we are here again reconnecting with this MAC address, now that this same device is reconnecting, my network is giving it back that 147, whereas a second ago, when we ran the other script, we did not, when we ran the one we're on now, which is simple server, it does not pass a MAC address. Therefore, it uses whatever the default is, therefore does not get that 150. Basically, 147 is the IP that's actually assigned to it in its default configuration. But because this gave it a MAC address, I don't remembered the last time we did it, I think. Okay. Alright. Is weird, but does make sense. Ooh, how did we test this the other day? I mean, we did this client one. I guess I can do that. What is it? I seen this with something else the other day too. I don't remember at all what that was though. Some kind of network traffic sending. Where is? We'll need to get back to this repo for now. I'll have to change that. 7. That's all we need to do. Data. Oh, we crashed on this side. Failed to allocate socket. You know, I said I was gonna do my hard reset, but I never actually did. Yeah. There we go. I'll just go back and forth, sending each other all these A5s. Indeed, that does seem to work, so we'll stop that. But I think, let's see, you can edit code in here as well. Does Control S work? Nice. I don't know if there's a serial thing built into this. I mean, in my case, it wouldn't work because I have TO connected. Once again. Steve. So I think we'll just, eventually we'll stop getting IPs. Soon? I don't know. Time it succeeded. Yeah. In a loop or? Yep. It's a counter for 15 seconds. Okay, yeah, 0, 1. Both of them. Nice. So that's working. So I would assume we will at some point fail get an IP? Or did we somehow get out clean from saving the file? Huh. I wonder how... why we didn't end up in the broken state this time around. My PyCharm saving the file, so it's not just saving the file, it's saving the file from PyCharm? Because I saved through here. I'll have to test that. I'll have to try a few different things to save the file from. That would be odd. You know, I would not be that surprised, though. Maybe PyCharm, it's like making a backup copy or something real fast and then deleting it or something. Maybe it's doing more fancy stuff too quickly and causing, like, weird to happen. I don't know, some devices do reboot twice, I guess, so... Seems to be all good, though. Let's see, I don't think this actually worked. Yeah. Saved it sooner. My little note stock that I started with, that I had the two things I was going to test written in it, is gone. So it was like, I think it was the HT only? HT Donald. So we want to test the new version and the old version with the same number and make sure that they give the same values. And in order to do that, we're gonna say how do we import that? Okay, yeah, we import something like this. I go the wrong way. Okay, that's an int. I'll just give it a number. I don't know what number. Positive integer. Should go maybe a slightly smaller one. At some point it will wrap and become a problem. So we just basically need to make sure the old one is the same. So I think what I'm gonna do, can you rename stuff through this? This WizNet PR. And then install regular WizNet. WizNet. That's the old one. Look like the same value, but we can double check by saying PR socket PR, and then socket PR. Boom, same number. Okay, and then the other one was something to do with that A2NA or whatever, Atona, this thing, ATON, Aton, and Notawa, Aton and Notawa. Convert an IP address from a dotted quad string to a 32 binary. Circuit and web workflow have come a long way. Really neat stuff. Yeah. Well, this one, it's not, actually, I don't know if it uses Circuit under the hood or not. I was going to say I don't think it does, but I have no idea if it does or not. And in my case, though, it is doing this through the USB, in fact, instead of the web workflow. This is Neradox. Discotool Device Manager is the name of it, that has this whole interface inside of it. And it is super sweet. So we want to give this one, so we could actually, we've got these already ready to go. We can just call this one, give it an IP, and then make sure the other one gives us back the same thing. So socket dot inet aton Might as well do one IP ahead for some time. No inet 8's on. Don't we have the ability to call that? Maybe that, did it not exist? Not exist. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So we could compare it to CPython, I guess, is all we can do. So the released one doesn't have it, the PR one should. None type has no attribute, unpretty IP. The interface was none. So basically we can't do it if we're not connected, it seems like. Let's do this. Away all that stuff. But we will need this to be from here. We have saved now, so I would assume we go back to a broken state. I get the feeling this doesn't like being called the other thing, maybe. Let's get rid of the released one. Leave that one, put this one back. So PR1 now has regular name. Ah. The module. Okay, yeah, we need to change the code too. This did not like having, I think there's some stuff in there which would have been importing, and then it would have been importing from the real one and not the PR one. We'd have to go through and actually change more code. Okay, so that's what this output, and really all I can do is I think test it against CPython. I don't know why my, hello? Where did the other line go? So C0A80193. C0A80193, yeah. Okay. Same numbers there. Other one was in TOA. Converts that thing back. We might as well just call it again afterwards. Ooh, converted equals this. Print converted into a converted back should give us the same value we put in originally. Saved it again. We still have not managed to get back to the broken state, which is odd, but so we did get the same thing there, and so then I'll try back into CPython here. Just going converted. Boom. Got back the same one. Nice. Okay. Those are the only two things that I had in that file. File is gone. I can't pull them back up, but honestly, those are the only things that were outstanding that I'm aware of, so I'm feeling like this is good at this point. We went through all of the examples that I can test. The only one we didn't do was cheer lights and manual network. I don't have cheer lights. I think you need a... Isn't that like a thing? You have to have cheer lights? It's a thing you buy and it hooks up to their server? Five? Oh, okay. But maybe I could build my own with a microcontroller and then sign up for their service and do some stuff. I have not done any of that. I don't think I have the ability to just use it right away. Is it everybody's is the same color? Is that the idea? Yeah. Everybody's the same color whenever, okay, you tweet at it to change it. Interesting. So we could make a Twitter bot that runs on CircuitPython and changes your color for you. Trying to think if there's anything else that we can or should test. Simple test basically did this. Request simple test Ethernet inside the request library. What? Or This one's hooking up to a feed. No, just kidding. Actually, it's publishing. Maybe it's subscribed to on-off? Sure. That's pretty much what we had before. Similar. There you go. Yeah, it does look like it's subscribing to on-off. Goes to cellular. We're in some like network thing going on here. I see. It's not implemented. Bind was a difference, but actually it's changed now. So we have the underscore bind, which is the one that allows you to do it on a socket that's already used. We actually do match CPython now with bind, the regular one. Yeah. Should copy the real names, I guess. Why we're getting extra new line now? And this one is not a CircuitPython thing, so that's not there. Yeah. Ooh. Scroll down. It's a bit too much, or I guess I just made this too big. Um. That empty pull requests for Ethernet made it. Oh, I'm getting tired. 1.13.6. How's it going here, Doc? I guess should we bump major versions? Maybe we should bump major versions because I guess like technically some like bind is now different, right? Like in the old version bind just had different behavior. Now we have underscore bind and regular bind has now different behavior that will raise an exception. Maybe it's worth just bumping to 2. I feel like I underutilize that stuff sometimes, and it's technically, I think, maybe considered a breaking change since bind behaves differently. There might be other specific things that we're breaking. Yeah, let's do it. All right. You've done it. Then it is released. Still running. No. Right, because we had it. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. We had to do this last. This one. Okay. You probably were not here before NerdDoc, but I got this running finally. Got new node 18 something installed by just downloading it. Got this thing loaded up. I ran through a bunch of the different parts of it that I have discovered so far. Probably have not discovered everything yet, but I ran through a bunch of the parts of it that I had discovered so far at the beginning of this stream. I will say, if you're here though, a few things. I think a lot of this stuff is super cool. Like the GUI here, I definitely really like the idea of having a visual kind of circ up here that's listing out and even showing you the difference between like the specific module you ask for versus the ones that it depends on. I think is cool to delineate this way. Download backup, I think is super helpful. I might move some of this stuff to the top, potentially. Like, especially backup. I feel like backup is a thing that I would want to use a lot inside this tool. I would love if that were at the top somewhere. Particularly interesting to use with the Webflow. And I will say so far it's been all USB. I don't have, this device technically is Webflow capable, but I don't have it actually running that way. Download backup though, that I think is super awesome. I'll definitely be using that pretty regularly. I like to try to do that anyway. I definitely there's been time working on hard fault stuff and updating versions all the time. It's nice to just keep backups. Auto install I did not try yet. I did a couple of install libraries from this thing. We installed the currently released WizNet. I think I installed a couple others just to show how it worked. Oh, I haven't tried clicking it yet, but I'll ask you since you're here. Does install here, I assume this will update these ones. Is that right? Like, you already have it installed, and you click it again, it will update those? I didn't actually do it, because I don't know if I could probably just go ahead and do it, honestly, though, right? Like, what are the chances I actually have a thing depending on it that I care about? Yeah, okay. It does. I don't know. I convinced myself earlier I shouldn't update those, because, like, what if it breaks something, but what am I actually using this device for, if not testing new stuff to get it to break? Auto install means CodePy. Nice. So yeah, it's like a circup -- auto. Kind of similar vibe with that one. But yeah, I think this is pretty sweet. I should have gotten on it sooner. Thank you for mentioning it again, and obviously thank you for making it and publishing it. I think it's super cool. I did have two devices. I'll turn this one back on. Can you have both windows open, or does it close one? I did have it show me two devices, but I did not actually click into the other window. Oh, nice. You can just get multiples. Okay. Oh, okay. I see my list is just super long, which is why this gets pushed to the bottom. Maybe there could be icons on this top bar, like an icon for download backup, an icon for new file, an icon for new directory, and then when you click it, it reveals the box to type in, or when that one there's nothing to reveal, you just click it and it downloads. Load files, does this just open this thing? Yeah. Maybe even upload, although at some point you'll have too many icons there, and so it's not great either, but oh, sweet. I saw that icon there before, but I didn't know what it was gonna do. For sure. Update all means check versions for all installed libraries. Bundle. This one's got like nothing on it, I think, right? Does it show you? Is there somewhere where it's just a list of libraries? No, I do have a couple. I guess, well, so I suppose how you would do it is you would do viewer on CodePy, wouldn't you? Do this thing. Well, but I guess that's not quite it, though. That just shows you CodePy. Is there a way to see just a list of everything on your device and its current versions, like this same table, but essentially just everything on the device? Or is that... I guess my main question then is, does update all prompt me, or does it just go? It looks like it does prompt you. So this would show you hide up to, oh, okay, and then you can undo this to get those back. Okay, so this is how you get the full list, is you go update all, untick hide to update, hide up to date, and then what you're going to be left with ultimately is the full list of everything you've got. It's not there. Working on C3 boards, I found that really useful. Backing up and re-uploading files when testing builds. Install with ESPTool. Oh yeah. Stay away from ESPTool as much as I can get away with it. The app doesn't have a solution for installing settings toml. Be a nice enhancement. It can, well, I mean, you can just make a file, right? Can you not do, I mean, I guess it's not like a separate tool that's specific to that. Oh, I already have one on here. Do I have stuff in it? Is this, I mean, the size is 0? Okay, I can't just click it, right? I have to pull it over here. Oh, that's a nice touch. Thank you for that. That was very kind of you. Oh, it opened up back on this window. I'm going to blame my computer on that, though. Probably just like active desktop or whatever. Luckily, it was empty in this case, so worked out for the better. The names are in flux, have to separate analyze versus actually upload or update. Learn guide, the main learn guide for the device, if there is one, might be a cool thing to link from here. I think DJ Devin mentioned that earlier. We were talking about boot out, but this page would be a good spot for that as well. This is kind of the same stuff that's, honestly, I look at this as like a super boot out file, right? This is like the same stuff from the boot out file, but like enhanced by being clickable to take you to a bunch of relevant places. Yeah, I really do like this GUI. I wonder if there's any way for this to get shared into like code CircuitPython.org or whatever. I haven't played with that as much as I should either, honestly. The things that I feel bad about having not played with enough yet, much as I should have yet. Is like, I think a lot of people could get benefit from a visual GUI for libraries. Libraries is kind of one of the most like computer savvy bits of using CircuitPython. Like, go download this thing, unzip it, find this thing from inside of it, copy it over to this spot on the drive. You know, it's not hard if you use computers all the time and are comfortable with it, but like, you are brand new, it can be a lot all at once. Whereas like this, it's like nice and super easy. Search for the honestly, what this does, I guess, and I would not be the one, because I don't use Arduino that much, but this kind of gives us the same thing like the Arduino library IDE installer, or I don't know what they call it inside there, right? But it's a similar thing where it's like, you go in here, you search, you want a display library, boom, you type display, you find the one you want, you click install from that, you're done. That's kind of how it works inside there, and this gives us the ability to do that, which is pretty sweet. Let's see, like to port it there. There are issues with doing that, and it will be time consuming. I gotcha. Yeah, I saw mentioning about cores and different. I've definitely spent my fair share of time fighting against stuff like that. Somebody had open issue suggesting examples. That might be kind of cool. Yeah, I do like that idea. It's like I think to add on to the stack of things, which I kind of feel bad for having not played with enough yet. What's the Bluetooth one? I think one of the Bluetooth one has examples inside of it. File, is it FileGlade? PyLeap. I think it would be PyLeap, right? Does that go from GitHub examples? I don't actually know where it pulls the examples from, I guess. A learn guide system, it looks like. Be similar to this. Although, honestly, it would be cool if this had the ability to pull from GitHub. It would also be cool. Still use Moo, which is fastest, easiest way. Yeah, no, I used Moo for a long time. And honestly, I probably would still be using Moo if not for having already used PyCharm for other stuff, right? Like, I already was using PyCharm for work stuff before I ever touched CircuitPython, so it felt like a natural thing to just keep doing it. Even still, though, I actually did use Moo for a long time with CircuitPython until I got figured out the right way to get PyCharm how I wanted it to be most effective. You said about the windows, good point too. The warning about opening the settings file should be in the new window. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, if it spawned in the same place where it was about to spawn, like if it spawned the same way that it's going to spawn the new window, the warning, then you'll know where the thing is going to pop up. That's a good point. It pops up a new one the same way, yeah. Ugh. I'm digging it though. A couple of these things higher up is kind of like my major. If I could change something right now, that's probably would be it, but I think it's super cool. And I did not, I said earlier I'll probably go back and uninstall it and then reinstall it on, I didn't do it on stream, I just had it, I did it earlier on before I started streaming, before I ate dinner. I got it installed. I didn't have any trouble though. Once I got the new node, it took me a second to figure that out. It actually turned out being the easier than I thought it was going to be to get the new version of Node. You don't really install it per se. I just downloaded it, unzipped it, and then kind of moved it to the right spot, and then it was done. But this stuff worked fine for me. I didn't run this. I'm not very familiar with NPM. Maybe it makes sense. I don't think I ever ran this. I just ran these ones here, and then when I did start, it popped up the first one of these, this list of devices one. One thing I think I will do though, and I should say, I guess if it's cool with you, I will probably try to record a short video showing the install process, and then like at least all the parts of it that I know of so far, just kind of do a quick tour around, which I did a similar one at the beginning of this stream. But I think what I'll try to do is record that as a video by itself and just put it out there as like something thing for people to help discover it, and also for people who have discovered it to be able a chance to see what's inside of it real quick. Either before or after they give it a try themselves. So it'll show them how to install it and then talk about what's in it. That'll be a good way to like try to get the word out there, hopefully. Honestly, the ability to search in this is like super amazing. I am really bad about, I don't know if bad is right, but I utilize stuff like this a lot where I'm searching for only the first like 3 or 4 digits of the thing. So being able to search for libraries that way I actually find super convenient, to be honest. I'll probably use this quite a bit as well. I wonder if we could make tab completion in Circuit. And I saw down here it does, I'm pretty sure this is community stuff. Yeah, Cedar Grove, all of these ones. So it must be community bundle as well. Back at all the files, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't help. Oh, really? I need to figure out how to do that. All 3 bundles plus keyboard layouts. Nice. Just go through and look at more of the community bundles. Community bundle libraries, I should say. Biffo Bear has one. Is that an Ethernet thing? That must be an Ethernet thing, right? This person seems to really like Ethernet stuff. Driver, right? It was like AS something, right? AS 935? 93935. Read. A lightning detector. Like you put it outside, or? What? It's just an IC? An IC detect lightning? That doesn't even make sense. Is this not lightning? Like thunder and lightning? Like rainstorm? Excuse me, what? How? Huh? Yeah, I saw that. GitHub, that's pretty sweet as well. Saying before, I saw those icons before. I didn't know exactly where they went, but they do. I clicked through one a little bit ago. Wow, man, this blows me away. I don't even, I mean, I guess it's just like super sensitive analog, and then lightning causes enough of disruption in analog circuitry, and then this thing can detect that disruption? That is insane, though. I don't even understand how that can be possible. There's just a chip that tells you if lightning is nearby? Like, what? That's crazy. How much is this? Can I buy one of these? Well, is there one with a breakout, though? I don't want, like, surface mount, tiny breakout. Sensor ESP. And go to AliExpress. Oh, those are two different links, I see. Okay, so maybe we can buy one that looks like this. I don't necessarily want to buy it off AliExpress. There's like pretty much any other way to buy it. Probably would go for that, but look around for a bit. That seems like a fun thing to just buy and see. Some magnetic, yeah, I guess it's gotta be, right? It's just some like super sensitive analog, like detecting disturbance in the force. That's so crazy to me that it's like whatever that is. Like I can fathom, you know, lightning is a weird phenomenon. I could fathom the fact that the right kind of circuit will detect the weirdness of lightning, but like from any like far distance and reliably to be able to get it to work to recognize lightning and lightning only and not just like false positive whenever the microwave is on or whatever, some weird thing like that seems insane to me. Give it a ridiculously long name. Yeah, some of them end up with lots of words duplicated like Adafruit, CircuitPython over and over. This happens sometimes. Okay, I think I'm going to pack it in for the night though. Definitely thank you to NeuroDoc. Sorry it took me forever to actually get involved with it, but I'm happy that I finally have. Super sweet thing. Thanks again for publishing that. Should say another hug report probably to BiffoBear for all the work on the Ethernet library. Definitely appreciating all of that. We've made it to the end of that stack, so that's cool. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no weather station. Have it in there. Cool way to do it. So take it easy, everybody. Thank you for watching. I will be back. Realistically, probably Friday is most likely the next time that I'll be back for a deep dive. So come hang out over on the Adafruit channel if you're interested in that. That'll be Friday at well, it's 4 p.m. my time, which is Central, but it's 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern, I think. So you can hang out over there if you're interested. I hope everyone has a good night, and I will see you later on. See ya.